This morning on DC News Now, inauguration preparation underway.
We are 100% confident in the plan that we have put in place for this inauguration.
How security measures could impact your commute. Cold weather and wind making a return this week. How long the freezing temperatures are expected to last. Crews in Maryland repairing water main breaks. What officials are asking you to do to conserve water. And a fallen firefighter remembered for helping others.
The man loved this. I mean, he breathed it, he dreamed it.
How loved ones are reflecting on his dedication to the community. Plus, forging a stronger DMV, a local woman's mission to strengthen Black and brown communities across the region.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning and thanks for starting your Tuesday with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Good morning to you. I'm Corey James. We're going to get you out the door with Shanika in just a second. Let's start things off at meteorologist Brittany Ward for a very cold and windy forecast today.
Yeah, you know, you definitely want to bundle up before heading out the door. It's going to be a chilly day out there. Those temperatures stepping out the door right now, sitting below the freezing mark across much of the DMV. We're sitting at 31 degrees right now in DC. You're at 21 though as you head over there to Hagerstown. You're sitting in the teens out towards Kaiser as well as Cumberland. It looks like Lexington Park as well as Culpeper. You're the only one at the freezing mark at this hour, coming in at 32 degrees. But then you factor in those wind chill values, it feels a lot colder than what the outside temperature is saying. Notice as you head over there to Kaiser, it feels like 1 degree below zero. So very cold stepping out the door there in Kaiser. It feels like 19 though in the nation's capital. It feels like 8 degrees there in Hagerstown, Maryland, as well as Martinsburg, West Virginia, and that colder air sticking around as we head into your Wednesday. So keep it here. We do have a warm up to talk about in that 7-day. But Shanika, how's the roads?
All right, Brittany, just on the top of the 6 o'clock hour, we have this one thing that will impact your commute this morning along BW Parkway. So that's heading south on the Maryland side of things, right near 202. So past this point, right off of Kenilworth Avenue and Eastern Avenue, you got a crash there. So it's blocking some lanes, and you can see just by that live traffic camera how slow you are looking this morning. So definitely keep that in mind if you're heading out. This is 50 heading inbound as well, right on that line from Maryland into the district. Now out to Potomac, this is in Montgomery County here, River Road heading westbound. You will see there's a crash right near Bradley Boulevard. I am seeing some delays too. So keep that in mind heading out this morning if you're traveling in that direction. Other than that, you're free to go.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Just days before the inauguration, the Department of Justice releasing an investigative report on President-elect Trump's efforts to overturn the election. The report was sent yesterday to Congress after a judge refused to block its release. And the report, special counsel Jack Smith says he is bringing criminal charges against Trump and says he believes Trump would have been convicted if he had not been voted into office. Trump reacted to the report yesterday on Truth Social, saying he is innocent.
And police are investigating a deadly shooting that happened in Kensington. Now, this happened last night on Franklin Street. Police say when they arrived on the scene, they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. That person did die on the scene. Police say a man was taken into custody, but as of right now, there's no word on what charges will be filed. And new details on a deadly shootout that happened in D.C. 3 officers were injured and police shot and killed the suspect.
And we're now learning the suspect lived at the Northeast apartment complex where this all took place. DC News Now's Max Marcillo spoke with neighbors about the shooting.
This is what busy Florida Avenue Northeast looked like Monday morning. The Noma neighborhood covered by the flashing lights of cop cars.
This is yet another reminder of the daily dangers that we face every day in our city and across the U.S.
Just after 4:30 in the morning, MPD came to this apartment building, I-5 Union Market, because they were told a man fired shots in the lobby. When they got here, the man went into the elevator, then out of the elevator a few minutes later.
Then he engages the officers and produces a handgun.
Then a shootout. 3 MPD officers hit. All of them are okay, but were brought to hospitals. The suspect was shot and died in the lobby. DC News Now obtained an email from the building manager which says the man was a resident here.
I don't really know much more of what they can do. I mean, the fobs, they keep it pretty safe, I mean, in terms of who's coming and going.
Tim Hayes feels the security measures here are adequate, but Michael Bay, who lives across the street, is contemplating moving somewhere else.
I'm not too comfortable in this area, and I thought that this was a nicer, calmer area to move to.
MPD crime data does show crime is down in this area as it is citywide.
We are grateful every day for the work of our officers and the dangers they face and their willingness to do this hard work to keep our city safe.
And that was our Max Marcillo reporting. The apartment complex says it is planning a community meeting with its residents. It is still not known why the suspect allegedly fired shots in the lobby before police arrived.
Your time right now is coming up on 6:05 this morning. Police are investigating a shooting at a Chipotle that was in Bowie last night. Now, this is video of the scene on Excelsior Drive. Police say 3 men tried to rob a man in the parking lot. That man ran inside the Chipotle and was followed by one of the men who had a gun. Police say the suspect was shot at once after a fight but was not hit. As of right now, no arrests have been made. Investigators are looking for a stolen black Chevy Camaro with a DC plate.
WSSC water crews are working to repair dozens of water main breaks and leaks caused by freezing temperatures. It is impacting customers in Montgomery and Prince George's counties. The agency says it's asking customers to use water sparingly for about a day. In nearly 2 weeks, there have been about 220 water main breaks and leaks. WSSC says the main issue is the temperature of the Potomac River, and that is where about 70% of the water comes from.
Pipes get used to water flowing through them at a relatively consistent temperature. And then all of a sudden we see the river temperature drop. And so those pipes, in a matter of speaking, are shocked.
WSSC Water also says about 40% of water mains in Prince George's and Montgomery counties are more than 50 years old.
And as he enters his final year in office, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin giving an address on the state of the Commonwealth. At yesterday's address, Youngkin said he is proud of what has happened in the Commonwealth since he has taken office. He also used the address to work to convince the Democrat-controlled General Assembly to pass things like ending taxes on tips for those in hospitality and giving rebates to drivers. In terms of the good in Virginia, he cited a growing economy, higher student scores, and a decrease in violent crime and record job growth. The key words of his address were strong.
Virginia is growing, Virginia is competing, and Virginia is winning. The state of our Commonwealth is strong, very strong.
Per law, the Governor Youngkin will not be eligible to run for re-election in 2026. And staying in Virginia, the water crisis in Richmond is now over, with tap water being safe to drink. Richmond had about 20 water main breaks in about a week's time, sending the city into a widespread water crisis. Back in 2022, the EPA cited Richmond for multiple violations concerning their public water system, including corroded pipes and aging infrastructure. Now, more firefighters from parts of the U.S. and other countries arriving in Los Angeles to help tackle the ongoing wildfires there. Right now, fire officials say 1/3 of the Eaton fire has been contained, but they are still battling the Palisades fire, which has barely been contained. The National Weather Service saying winds could reach up to 65 miles per hour today. Now, these fires have destroyed thousands of homes and killed at least 24 people. Meantime, volunteers from Virginia now travel to Southern California to help families and first responders there.
Yeah, Mercy Chefs, based in Portsmouth, says it served its first meal to fire victims and first responders in Los Angeles. The team is on the ground in L.A. feeding fire victims and first responders battling the wildfires. The organization says 12 staff members are there and have been making as many as a few thousand meals a day. Mercy Chef says they're just happy to be there to help.
If it was your community and your neighbor lost everything and your house is still standing, or your neighbor lost everything and you lost everything. People are people no matter where we live, no matter how far away they may be from you and your community.
And the organization is also in North Carolina. Volunteers are feeding families and first responders who are still recovering from Hurricane Helene. A reminder for you this morning, officials say be on the lookout for schemers. They say they often use disasters to defraud their victims over the phone or in person. One of the most common methods is pretending to be a utility worker or a member of a federal agency. If you believe someone is not who they say they are, you are encouraged to contact the agency. And if you've been watching all the wildfire coverage and want to help, here's how you can do that. DC News Now and our parent company Nexstar are teaming up with the American Red Cross to assist families in Southern California. You can make a donation by going to our website. That's dcnewsnow.com. Type Help California Wildfires in the search bar. You can also scan this QR code right here on your screen. It will take you directly to that page to provide assistance.
All right, your time right now is coming up on 6:10 on a Tuesday. Commanders fans in good spirits this morning.
Yeah, they're celebrating the team's first playoff victory in nearly 2 decades. Plus, Save Virginia Woman celebrating of Black and brown communities, the nonprofit she's launching, and this week's DMV Doer.
But first, we are taking a live look outside. Brittany, it's a very chilly start this morning, and it's pretty breezy out there, as we can see.
Yeah, you know, we'll be holding on to those breezy conditions as we head through much of the day today, and highs today below average. So keep it here. I'll let you know how long these cooler temperatures will be sticking around coming up after the break.